Well, the Sacramento Kings will play their first game tonight since the firing of head coach Luke Walton. The team has lost 7 of their past 8 games, putting them near the bottom of the Western Conference. The interim head coach will be Alvin Gentry.
All right, so we bring in Damien Barling from ESPN 1320's D-Lo and Casey show. And before we look forward, let's look back. Damien, we were optimistic. We thought this season was going to be different. What went wrong for Luke Walton that led to his firing?
You know, that's hard to pinpoint. It's hard to pinpoint what went wrong this year. I can tell you what we're seeing right now from the Sacramento Kings is what we've seen during Luke Walton's tenure. And I think that's the bigger source of frustration is if you were going to make the move to move on from Luke Walton, why are you doing it now? What we're seeing now, the season started with the promise that you were talking about. They were 5-4. They were really competitive against really, really good teams. And now they've gone on to lose 7 of 9. And it's that's not good, but that's what Luke Walton did last year. It's what Luke Walton did the year before. So I'm not sure I think the main difference was the expectations were different. There was no, let's develop the young talent. There was no gap year. There was, hey, there's 10 playoff spots now. Not 8, but 10. Let's get to one of those 10. And it feels like things started to slip away here pretty quickly.
Yeah. Well, tell us about then looking forward, interim head coach Alvin Gentry. What do you think might be changing with the team when he takes over?
So that's the interesting thing. I don't expect a lot to change in terms of what we're seeing. Now you might see substitution patterns a little bit different. It'll be interesting to see if there are certain guys that Luke played that Alvin doesn't. I mean, Alvin Gentry's been on this staff, and I think your role as an assistant coach versus being a head coach is very different. But I don't think we'll see massive changes. I think we'll just see some subtle changes, and I don't exactly know what those are going to be. I know he likes to play a fast-paced, high-tempo offense. It's what he did in New Orleans. It's what he's done at his various stops throughout the league, and he has a roster in Sacramento that's certainly capable of doing it. So it's not like the eye test. It's going to be pretty similar. What I'm more curious about is how the players respond to him and how the players respond to him being the lead voice of the team.
Well, Vivek Ranadive was considered a savior. He helped keep the Kings in town. But do you get the sense fans are a bit frustrated with how he's handling the team?
Yep. Not a bit frustrated, but very frustrated. I think there are too many things that they're kind of piling on top of each other, and maybe it's not Vivek, maybe it's the people around Vivek, but it feels like there's a structural issue with the Sacramento Kings where they constantly put in these fail safes and they constantly put in these backup plans. And when they put in these backup plans, it prevents the current plan from succeeding. And a lot of people are pointing at Vivek Ranadive for that. And Vivek was very vocal when he first became the owner. He's been substantially more quiet in the past few years. But yeah, it feels like there are some things off with the higher structure of this organization.
Well, we'll be out at the game tonight. We'll see what fans tell us. Damien, thanks for joining us this afternoon.
Thank you for having me. I appreciate it.
And you can listen to Damien weekdays from noon to 4 on the D-Lo and Casey radio show on ESPN 1320.